after 3 p.m. Swearing in of national and regional officers will be on Thursday, June 30, 2022 at the Press Center.
The Electoral Commission of Ghana, in collaboration with the GJ Elections Committee, are supervising the voting process at all the 15 polling centers across the country. According to the Deputy Director of Electoral Services at the Electoral Commission, Mr. Samuel Dotokwa, journalists without the NIA and voters' ID cards, as well as a passport, would only be allowed to vote with any other national identification bearing their image when two people testify that they are truthfully the person on the ID card.
We decided that the election will start from 8 a.m. and ends at 3 p.m. So the Electoral Commission officials were here before 6. So all the necessary preparation has been put in place, and as we speak now, the election is going on well. We did mention that the total number of voters for the whole country, this is a nationwide elections. We are having 5 centers in Accra, 1 in Tema, and 9 in other old regions, making 15 centers. So when we finish everything by 3, the count will start. And at the end of the counting, the various centers will announce the results over there and then transmit the results to Electoral Commission at the International Press Center, where collation will be done. And then the final declaration of the results will be made. So that is so far the preparation that we have made as far as the electoral process is concerned for the GGA elections. As an agent, the interest of the candidate is paramount to you. So you have to observe all the processes. If anything goes wrong, you draw the attention of the presiding officer and everything will be resolved. And at the moment, I must say that they have comported themselves very well and everything is going on. No one has made any complaint as far as the electoral processes is concerned.
Our correspondent joins us on phone, and so first we'll head to the Ashanti region and speak to Nicholas Osei Wusu. Nicholas, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Have you voted? Have you voted?
Yes, I have.
Right. Tell us the number on the roll, and so far how many people have cast their ballot?
Okay, for the register for Ashanti, we have 31 names on that particular list. But we are told there are some other lists that involve some other GGA members who are not particularly based in the Ashanti region. Those issues have been considered. And before anything else, I would want to who is going on the field to speak to some of the issues that are arising out of the there were some hiccups and the people journalists have to come here without finding their names on the original list, and some of them have had to go back. They are basically disappointed too. Just a while ago, we had a central investment media commission which I abode by a boss. They set up a similar situation, but it appears to have found a way around the situation. I can't be able to resolve that approach. In the sense of what I'm taking again is so-called national going to take the program. This is a national program. And so I don't see the meaning of taking a national list. So assuming the same business appears under a retiree, this was cut and then presented to the letter. How are you going to vote? This is what I'm contending. That the names that are under Ashanti, they are scattered under names somewhere. And our members that the people who are using the creating the field are aware that they are members of the association. Do something. This is my contention. You understand? That there shouldn't have been anything like a master list. These are people who don't have been captured and everything is Sunday. And this is a national program. So if I happen to be a captain today, they due to the meeting, students come to classes to go. Even I as a voter, in fact, as a member in this kind of association, What are you doing to ourselves? But haven't this been the arrangement all this while? It has never been so. Anytime, what I know is that the prince, assuming you coming from Ghana, West Africa, Britain, the Ghana, West Africa,
Nicholas.
Whatever you have. And there will be general list. Okay. Yeah,
we have heard the concern. So if you can wrap up with him, so you come to
so
me
that's
here.
Right. For the issue around we are they've been able to find a way around it because it's in the packet under the list of the former executives of the GGO. So when that list was actually done and his name was found, you have to go through the process.
So officially, we have 31 on the roll. Is that it?
For Ashanti, yes, that's the case.
So how many people have voted as of now? How many people have voted?
As of now, we have about 20 of the names that have already presented themselves.
Right, Nicholas.
And we have gone through the process.
Right, definitely.
One hour to go.
Definitely, we will come back to you after the process ends for you to give us the feedback from there. Thank you so much, Ashanti Regional Correspondent Nicholas Osei Wusu. For now, we head over to my colleague Maurice Ogbete, who has been at the GBC's polling center from the opening of the exercise and has an update on what has transpired so far.
Right, so it's just some 10 minutes past 2. What that means is that in less than an hour, the GJA national elections will come to a close. Results will be collated from all over the country from the 15 other regions, and then the results will be declared at the press center here in Accra. I'm currently reporting to you from the GBC constituency, or the GBC voting center, where we have 129 electorates expected to participate in this particular election. The last time I checked with the EC, some 85 people had voted already. We hear reports of voter name absenteeism from the voter register in some regions, especially in the Ashanti region. We hear voting has ended in some regions where the numbers are not huge, like what we have here at GBC. And so the process will continue to 3 p.m. and then we would declare who becomes the next president, who becomes the next general secretary of the GJ, who becomes the next organizing secretary of the GJ. It's a contest between 3 big shots who have paid their dues when it comes to journalism, when it comes to communication. We're talking about Gayat Mensah, who rose through the ranks here in GBC, produced the breakfast show, hosted press events on TV. He rose through the ranks, worked with the Ghanaian Times, worked with the Daily Graphic as an editor, worked with Vodafone Ghana, worked with Talo Ghana. I mean, he has a lot of experience under his sleeves when it comes to journalism and communication. We're also talking about Albert Jumfo, who we spoke to early in the morning. He came around to see how the process has been going. He's the general manager for the Atinka Media Group. He is a spokesperson for the Tobinco Group as well. He's a member of Primpark. He's a member of Giba and also an editor of 2 key newspapers here in the country. He's paid his dues. We're also talking about Mr. Dave Agbenu. Mr. Dave Agbenu is currently the editor of the Ghanaian Times. Worked so much with so much experience with that particular state-owned newspaper. So at the end, one of these is supposed to lead the GJA. This particular election is coming at a time when members are calling for reforms. Members are calling for transparency, financial transparency. They want to know what the dues that we pay is used for. They want to see the next way forward, you know, realizing how the GJA has been left, you know, in its current state. And so that is the expectation of the journalists who is voting today. They are voting for their welfare, they are voting for press freedom, and they are voting for reforms as well. Quickly, let me speak to my colleague Rebecca Ewa. She just cast her ballot. Let me understand exactly what her expectations are. So this is a very crucial election for the GJ, a crucial election for journalists, and a crucial election for press freedom.
That's right, exactly so, Morris, and particularly because I've had the chance to also interact with a number of journalists on the Reporters Roundtable. I know the stakes are high, and for me particularly, I have an eye on how proceedings will go at the end of the day, because we are looking at a GJA that will be very vibrant, that will also give us transparency, accountability, as you have rightly said. And again, you know, the Media Foundation for West Africa has reported of brutalities within the media circles, and particularly around this time in Ghana it has gone up, and most of the time we see press releases and there's minimum interventions, but the one who will become, particularly the president, we are looking forward to somebody who will be able to speak to the issues, speak to authority and get us results. And when it comes to review of our constitution is prime for us, because who is a journalist is one of the key things we have to define in going forward, so that we can have accurate reportage, balanced reportage, fact-finding reportage in our media sector.
Thank you very much. Rebecca Uwa is a practicing journalist. She just cast a ballot. I see in the background one of the presidential aspirants, Mr. Dave Agbenu, with the Ghanaian Times. He's come to check the process and see how it's been so far. So Rebecca, you want to take leave of us. Let's speak to the electoral officer in charge of the process here. Let's understand exactly how the process has been so far, and whether there have been any hitches at the GBC election center. Good afternoon to you, sir. Good afternoon. In the morning when I spoke to you, the process was a very smooth sailing one. Anything has changed so far?
Nothing has changed so far. Nothing has changed so far. Everything is very smooth now. Yes, and I'm very happy that we are processing in a mature way. Everybody is comporting his or herself very well. So I don't think that there's any problem here in this center at all.
Right. So monitoring events, I hear people not finding their names, especially in the Ashanti region and some other regions. Do you have any incident of voter name absenteeism from the list?
No, nobody. Everybody that comes here find his or her names in the voting register. So we don't encounter such a problem here at all.
Right. So it's 2 p.m. and only 85 people have voted.
For now we have 89.
89 have voted. So far, yes. We have 129.
Exactly.
Are you confident we can clear the numbers before?
We hope so. We hope so, because I need to understand that some of the colleagues that are supposed to come and vote are running shifts. So when one comes, one goes, one comes. So we hope so that at least we could get about 105 or 150 before we end the voting process.
Okay. Thank you very much. And so we are covering the GJ elections all over the country from the 15 other regions. GBC is a major election center. We have a polling station at the GNA, a polling station at Graphic, a polling station also at the Ghanaian Times. All other journalists outside these media houses will be casting their ballots at the press center, which is going to be the coalition center. And so we are here, we are monitoring events. When the numbers start trickling in, we'll be here to tell you exactly who is winning. Let me also tell you that the other slot, the organizing secretary, we have our own Dominic Hoji, who is contesting for that particular position. We'll see who becomes the next organizing secretary for the GJA. I'll hand over to you in the studios. Let's continue the discussion.
Thank you, Morris. And GBC remains the largest constituency by virtue of the number of people on the roll. So, Morris, thank you so much for that update. But for now, we are traveling to the Bono region, and we have our regional correspondent, John Sam Arthur, on the line. Hello, John. Good afternoon. Hello, John. Good afternoon. Elections are also ongoing across the regions, and so our correspondents are also scattered, giving us updates from there. Currently, John Sam Arthur is supposed to be on the line. Hello, John. Hello, John. If you can hear me, what is happening in the Bono region?
Hello.
Yes, John, I can hear you. Good afternoon. We've heard of reports from the Ashanti region and in Accra here. All seems to be well, except for the Ashanti region, where they are having some bit of a problems with their register. What is happening where you are?
Here in the Bono region, it's been smooth sailing. It started around about 8:30, and out of the 17 on the row, as I see the last person just finished casting his vote. So here in all the 17 that have finished casting their vote. So now it is a really good game. You just have to wait till 3 o'clock when the box can be opened and then the ballot counted.
So, John, this means that even though it's yet to be 3, voting has ended in the Bono region. Do I get that clear?
Yes, voting has just ended the Bono region. The last man who came from all the 50 man after his vote. So it's now a waiting game for 3 o'clock for the count.
But is there a reason why the regional executives, most of them went unopposed? Is there a reason for that? Because I see a trend like that.
The reason is that there's high level of in the region. Most of the members are virtually talking about their membership. And so nobody was really interested in contesting, some of these executives. One guy who wanted to contest, Daniel Said from PDI, was disqualified because of the time of his nomination. It was not properly laid out. So he was disqualified last week. It's the only race that has been contested, the executive race. So apart from that one, that's how it was. Then all the others were for the vote. And I think it's because of the media activity in the region.
So I'm sure for now, all what is left is for the declaration of results.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. We'll be back to you when it's time for that. And that was our regional correspondent, Bono regional correspondent, John Sam Arthur. Tema regional correspondent, Michael Dewonu, I beg your pardon, is also live now, giving us an update. A footage of Tema, and we are waiting patiently for Michael Dewonu to take his position. Right.
Here in Tema, the process has been smooth so far, and so far 27 people have voted. We have about 31 number on the roll who are eligible to vote, and so far 27 have voted so far. The process has started around 9 a.m. and it's been smooth so far. There's not been any issue so far. We want to get in touch with the returning officer and also find out from him how he's seeing the process so far and how the situation has been here on the ground. So we'll get closer to him and also find out from him how the process has been so far. So that is how the situation has been here in Tema. It's been very smooth with no incident. And so in Tema, the situation has been very smooth without any incident. Good afternoon to you, sir, and welcome to GBC News.
Thank you very much.
How has the process been so far for you? Can we just get closer?
Okay, thank you very much. I think so far so good. We started around 8:30, and so far the process has been very smooth. There is no problem here. There is no pressure here. Everything is just normal.
In terms of the attendance, how would you describe it?
Yeah, we don't have many people on the list. We just have only 31, and so far we have only 4 people left to vote, and we are closing at 3. So we are hoping that they will come around and then vote before 3 o'clock.
Okay. We are grateful for your time. And there are representatives of the various candidates also here. For Mr. Dave, he's being represented by a colleague from the Ghana News, Ghanaian Times, Mr. Blake Kiba, who will also tell us how he's seen the process so far. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Blake, and welcome to GBC News.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, how has the process been for you so far? You are pulling for Mr. Dave.
Yes. It's been very smooth. We started around 9 a.m. and the process is going very well. We have 31 registered DJ members in Tema, and we all have our names on the list. There's not any problems here. So far, we have 27 people voting, and we are left with 4 people. So I think all is well.
All is well. All is well here. Sharif Idrisu is a pulling agent for Mr. Gayat. And how have you seen the process so far here in Tema?
Well, so far so good. I would say in Tema we had it and everything is going on the way we expected. So I don't think we're having any difficulties at all, like other places where, though we're having some colleagues that are not happy with issues concerning names that have been deleted from the register. So it's one of the things that we have a colleague we are not elected to. She was complaining bitterly about her name being deleted, and not alone. I would the Mrs. Papua, acting head of programs, also complaining bitterly about what they term as they are enfranchising them not to vote for their choice of candidates and other things. So these are some of the things. I hope that going forward, our next election shouldn't be where it's like GBC is being tried to. I don't know why sometimes it happens. Last 4 years is the same. This year too. Is the same thing that is happening. So for me, I believe we should do something about it, and mostly the members of GJA coming from GBC are the people who are suffering from this. I don't know the other areas though, but I can talk of GBC or Bunu FM here. So these are some of the things that are happening. But in nutshell, I believe that everything is going on smoothly. So we expect the best candidate to win. Okay. My candidates win.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so apart from those few names that are not on the register, the process here in Tema has been smooth so far. For now, the electoral officers are just relaxing, and they are just relaxing and waiting for 3 p.m. where the results will be counted and declared. For GBC News, my name is Michael Dawano, reporting from Tema.
Thank you, Michael Dewono. Let's shift focus from the GJA and pay attention to other stories. But obviously today is our day, so definitely we'll be back with more updates as and when news trickle in. So in Tema, the 2 leaders of parliament and members of the committees on trade, industries and tourism and works and housing have encouraged support for indigenous industries in the country to build the economy. The joint committee made the call when they visited the production plant of Jatta Cement Company.
Jatta Cement is the first private sector wholly Ghanaian-owned cement factory in the country with an installed plant capacity of 2 million tons annually. The majority and minority leaders were accompanied by some members of Parliament's joint committees on trade, industries and tourism and works and housing to tour the factory. They were taken round by management of the factory, built on the 10-acre land near the Tema port. The executive director of Jatta Cement, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, who addressed the legislators, shared his success story.
The quantities that we have actually chanced on is possible to mine it for the next 10 years. So we're looking to do more drilling to be able to get a 20-year reserve such that it will be bankable to put up a $200 million investment. The cost of power today would hinder most of the projects that we want to do in Ghana, not only for the cement, even for the iron ore and other businesses in Ghana.
The legislators commended the management for operating in an eco-friendly manner.
One of the major takeaways this morning as I listened to Ibrahim, the chief executive of Jatta, is that it's only in Ghana that industry pays more than ordinary consumers when it comes to electricity. It's been a matter that the Association of Ghana Industries have put on the table since my days as Minister for Trade. We would need institutional reforms in order to be able to correct it, to guarantee lower costs for them.
Here, I think we are all overawed by the cleanliness at this place. And it involves quite a lot, because we're just asking the question and we've been informed that there are giant suction plants overhead. This factory, we are told, it employs more than 400 direct workers and agents and distributors across the length and breadth of this country. Certainly, you're talking about numbers in excess of maybe 3,000–4,000. And so many people have to depend on this factory alone.
The members of parliament called on Ghanaians to support the company. Rachel Quarty, GBC News, Tema.
It has been over 8 years since Ghana experienced the last destructive earthquake. Several earth tremors have been occurring, which keep reminding that Ghana is susceptible to earthquakes. At a ceremony to round off the Night Coast Preparedness 2022, the Minister for the Interior, Mr. Ambrose Derry, encouraged the disaster emergency response agencies to extend the exercise to other regions across the country.
On Monday, Night Coast Preparedness 2022 exercise Shikpon Sumo was opened for simulation exercise. The earthquake simulation exercise caused widespread destruction in Tema Metropolitan Assembly and Tema West municipal areas. Respondents were deployed to affected areas to save and protect lives and contain the situation. The earthquake simulation exercise, which was to test the preparedness of the disaster emergency response agencies, was successfully achieved. The Minister for the Interior, Mr. Ambrose Derry, commended the disaster emergency response agency and also thanked the U.S. team for their support. He also advised that the program be extended to other regions.
I further encourage you to conduct similar exercises in other regions to build the capacity of other respondents, to boost the confidence in any life-threatening circumstance.
The U.S. Embassy and the North Dakota National Guard team from the U.S. were impressed with the level of professionalism and enthusiasm displayed by the response agency.
Every agency planned and participated in this exercise. We also wanted to conduct this tactical exercise to allow agencies to conduct a gap analysis to identify what's missing and what could help them through resources or personnel for future disasters.
And after witnessing what the Republic of Ghana, whole of government, has accomplished after the last 4 days, it is my assessment that Ghana has an incredible disaster response team.
Mr. Eric Nana Ajman Prempe is the Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization.
Response agencies really work very hard to achieve this high level of success. This does not suggest no gaps were identified. Participating agencies will meet to start the entire exercise and take steps to address all identified gaps.
The entire Disaster Emergency Response Agency and its supportive agencies were honored. The program was funded by the U.S. Embassy in
the past decades. The private sector has assumed a larger role in research and development for food and agriculture. For 2 days, interest groups from 8 African and 14 European countries reviewed strategies to upscale private sector participation and the use of technology and innovation in ensuring food quality.
Decades, scientific research has undeniably moved into the private sector to the extent that nowadays the majority of scientific research is both conducted and funded by the private industry. To ensure effective private sector participation in research work, the Science and Technology Policy Research Institute collaborated with the Long-Term Europe-Africa Research and Innovation Partnership for Food and Nutrition, Security and Sustainable Agriculture, hosted a 2-day workshop to boost private sector participation in research. The workshop provided knowledge-based information and contribution to the formulation and implementation of policies for socio-economic development based on science, technology and innovation. Long-term Euro-Africa Partnership for Food and Nutrition, Security and Sustainable Agriculture for NSSA Work Package 2 co-leader CSIR Stepri Ghana, Dr. Rose Omari, said a shift towards private sector-driven research is timely.
The use of the research is also limited due to various reasons. In this workshop, we want to find better strategies of interacting with the private sector, getting them involved in our research, either in terms of funding or even using our research outputs or even contributing to our research in various ways.
The Director for Research and Innovation for Farm Agriculture Research in Africa is Dr. Irene Anofrempon.
This international research consortium is new. It's going to be launched in September, and it's all about bringing all research and innovation actors in Africa and Europe to come together to be part of this engagement that will move research and innovation forward, and that will make research the basis, or science the basis of agricultural development in Africa.
The final report of the workshop will be presented to the AU-EU Senior Officials Meeting on 13th July 2022 in Brussels.
Let's do some health stories now. Following the monkeypox case recorded in the Tachima municipality, the Bono East Regional Health Directorate is intensifying its education and sensitization on the disease in all the region's 11 districts. Measures instituted so far by the Ghana Health Service include the issuance of an alert to all the health facilities on the disease, ongoing sensitization of clinicians and other health staff, as well as contact tracing and follow-up on the confirmed case in Techiman.
According to Bono East Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Fred Adamako Boateng, the Regional Health Directorate is capable of bringing the outbreak in the region under control, but needed the maximum support of residents.
When you suspect monkeypox, what do you do in a facility? We have also done that. What sample do you take? We have also done that. And what do we do as a region? All these have been communicated. In fact, we started this discussion about 2-3 weeks ago, before we even had one last week. So in terms of the preparation, that's what we have done. In terms of case fatality rates, moving from one to another, or contagiousness, there is nothing compared to COVID-19.
Dr. Adumako pleaded with the residents in the region to ensure early reporting to health facilities, effective diagnosis and treatment, and to strictly adhere to all the existing COVID-19 protocols of hand hygiene, indoor wearing of nose masks, and social distancing rules to curb the disease's spread.
All these permutations for monkeypox, I think we shouldn't be that worried. We should go about the way and manner we are carrying our businesses. But the most important thing is the hand hygiene that we have been emphasizing. Continuously washing your hands with good water, running water, and soap. Continuously applying alcohol.
Symptoms of monkeypox include headaches, muscle and backaches, general bodily weakness, rash with blisters on the face, hands, feet, body, eyes, mouth, or genitals.
Service in the Upper East region is on a crusade to reduce extensively the spate of maternal mortalities due to unsafe abortions across the country. This campaign falls in line with achieving Goal 3 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Maternal mortality ratio, currently MMR, stands at 308 deaths per 100,000 live births, which is way below the SDG target of less than 70 deaths per 100,000 live births by 2030. For this reason, the Zero Tolerance for Maternal Deaths Due to Unsafe Abortion campaign mainly targets decreasing unintended pregnancies among women and girls through the provision of safe abortion and family planning FP services. This is with a view to reduce maternal deaths in the country, especially at the rural settings. Dr. Emmanuel Dochi is the Upper East Regional Director of Health.
The laws in Ghana permit abortion under certain circumstances. Access to these services is still a challenge, with unsafe abortion contributing significantly to maternal mortality. Taken together, these factors demonstrate the need for extensive and strategic policy and program efforts towards reducing the country's unacceptable high maternal morbidity and mortality.
Launching the campaign, Dr. Emmanuel Duchi announced that complications from unsafe abortions accounted for 3% of direct maternal mortalities in the Upper East region. He blamed the increasing rate of unsafe abortions leading to death on poverty, rape, contraceptive failure, and ignorance, and called on the media to support the campaign.
In Upper East region, complications of unsafe abortion accounted for 3% of direct maternal mortality, and about 25 cases of post-abortion complications that include bleeding, perforations, sepsis, and many others.
Many health facilities across all levels have been authorized to provide safe abortion care to reduce the country's MMR and promote the family system while contributing to socio-economic growth.
Welcome to the business segment. Insurance companies have been urged to rely on research to develop policies that meet the needs of customers. Such policies could motivate the public to patronize insurance packages and help usher in a regime of increased insurance coverage for the growth of the economy. An insurance expert, Mr. Emmanuel Babamahama, made the call when he was speaking at an insurance fair in Accra.
Insurance fair forms part of activities marking this year's Insurance Month. Although the country has one of the highest insurance coverages in Africa, the percentage is still insignificant to ensure economic development. Experts say the insurance penetration rate had to be beyond 4.4% for it to have a spillover effect on the economy significantly. Current insurance penetration in the country is below 2%, with a coverage rate of about 40%. Also, reorienting the public to understand and appreciate insurance as an everyday life will call for cultural change where the minds and beliefs of the people would be tuned towards the policy. Speaking on the topic, making insurance the Ghanaian way of life, a former president of the Ghana Insurance Association, Mr. Babamahama, refuted the notion that insurance was sold and not bought. He advised insurers to leverage technology and digitalization to make their services more accessible and simplify their language.
If we don't change our mind regarding this statement and begin to see insurance as something that people would like to buy, we will not make any inroads at all. Insurance, when well understood, well presented, in a manner that makes sense to people who benefit from it, they will buy insurance. Because the purpose of a business is to create a customer. The business enterprise has two and only two basic functions: marketing and innovation.
A recent research by the National Insurance Commission indicates that a sizable number of Ghana's population, representing 46.2%, hold the view that insurance companies in the country care more about premiums than paying claims. Per the report, most Ghanaians review their insurance providers with doubt, hence the Insurance Awareness Month. A former commissioner of insurance, Madam Lydia Laribabawa, stressed the need for growth in the insurance industry.
The confidence and trust of the insuring and in fact the Ghanaian public, we need to get them to come along with us. We must make insurance, as the theme for this lecture suggests, the Ghanaian way of life.
The three-day fair afforded insurance companies and brokerage firms to showcase their products and services to the public. This year's theme is deepening insurance awareness to engender and enhance public confidence in Ghana.
President of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, Reverend Professor Charles Anum Adams, has called on government to collaborate with certified engineers to address Ghana's road infrastructure system. He has also advised that eco-friendly materials should be used for constructing roads and bridges. Professor Adams said this when he delivered the 51st presidential address mandated by every president of the Institution of Engineering during his tenure in Accra.
Design roads and they are constructed. These roads have a certain
maintenance regime that ought to be done. First routine, which is done annually, and then periodic, that depending on the surface, you may do maybe every 5 years or every 10 years. It seems we don't do them timelessly. You will notice that if we're going to spend $1, then we're now going to spend 10 times that money to reconstruct the roads. Certified contractors who employ the right professional staff, including engineers, consulting engineers who have also registered professionals should be employed. Now the work should be given to people devoid of politics. We must also look at, for example, bio-asphalt or other means of modifying the bitumen with rubber. Now when you do that, it will stick better, and therefore the aggregate or the chippings will stay on the road surface.
The Traders Advocacy Group Ghana has called on the National Insurance Commission, the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana, and the Ghana Insurance Association to help intensify insurance education among its members. The call comes on the heels of move by TAG to ensure that its members enjoy the suite of products of insurance in the country.
The Traders Advocacy Group Ghana, TAG, has a database of 7,000 members. The group is responsible for protecting the trade rights of its members. One major challenge of the members is insurance. Mindful of this, TAG has engaged the National Insurance Commission to intensify education among its members who are in the informal sector. The president of TAG, Mr. David Kojo Amwate, said when members are sensitized about the relevance of insurance in de-risking their business, they will patronize insurance products. He said the claims payment process by insurance companies needs to be given a second look.
Now that we are educating them that you don't go straight to the insurance, but go through a broker. So if the unfortunate happen, at the comfort of your office that you are working at your shop, your home, the broker will take charge.
The Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Justice Ofori, assured members of TAG that the Commission will work hand in hand with the Insurance Brokers Association of Ghana and the Ghana Insurance Association to develop tailored insurance products for traders.
One of the challenges is that insurance companies design products in their offices, send them out there to sell to potential policyholders. They should look the other way around, whereby getting closer to the possible consumers of their products and determining what they actually need, and they coming back to design products that will fit their needs.
TAG has registered members spread across the 16 regions of the country.
Let's now go for the interbank figures and the commodities board. Removal of human parts to be used in preparing charms. The U.S. Senate has passed a gun control bill, the most significant firearms legislation in nearly 30 years, which imposes tougher checks on young buyers and encourages states to remove guns from people considered a threat. In a rare bipartisan breakthrough on gun control measures, 15 Republicans joined Democrats in the Senate to approve the bill, according to the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives. Is expected soon.
Bipartisan bill, despite it falling far short of his demands. Gun control activists and most Democrats would also like to see far more stringent measures on gun control. The bill came after mass shootings last month at a supermarket in Buffalo, New York, and a primary school in Texas that left 31 people dead. President Biden has pushed for bigger reforms, including a ban on assault weapons, which were used in the Texas and Buffalo mass shootings, or at least an increase in the age at which they can be purchased. The gunman in the Texas shooting is believed to have purchased 2 semi-automatic rifles days after turning 18. The bill is also significant because it is the first time in decades that proposed reforms have received this level of support from both Democrats and Republicans. This time, the vote in the 100-member Senate was 65-33. All 50 Democrats, including the party's most conservative members, Senators Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema, voted for the bill. They were joined by deal-making Republicans, including the party's Senate leader, Mitch.
Ukrainian forces in Severodonetsk have been ordered to withdraw, according to the top regional official. The city is the focus of Russia's invasion as it tries to take control of large parts of eastern Ukraine. Luhansk regional head Serhiy Haidai said remaining in positions that have been relentlessly shelled for months just doesn't make sense. Russian forces have nearly encircled Severodonetsk in recent days and are now targeting its twin city, Lysychansk. Mr. Haidai added that the city's entire infrastructure has been completely destroyed. He added, with over 90% of houses shelled and 80% of them critically damaged. It is unclear if the Ukrainian withdrawal has begun. Ukrainian military said on Friday morning that fighting continues for the city of Severodonetsk. On Thursday, Russian forces took control of more of the territory